Hello there guys and girls, this is the Prussian Prince with another Total War Attila tournament match, and this is the Total War League, 1v1 League. That's right, League twice. This is a best of 3 match between Danko and me. In the first game, I'm playing as the Allens. I picked second though, and Danko picked Sassanids first. So let's see how this one goes. And the 1v1 league, basically, you have to play 4 matches every week. And you have, every week your faction pool is randomized and you can play the factions in your pool. So for example, since you have 4 matches, multiply that by 3 and you have 12 factions. Basically, since it's a best of 3, it's max 3 games. So, with 12 factions, I mean, you're gonna have enough factions to use for all your matches. And then once again, they're going to get, your faction pool is going to get randomized after the week is over. So that is basically it. But it is interesting. Basically right now, this is, I believe, the #1 league. So this is the Premier League, I suppose. There's no second league yet or anything like that, and I'm actually gonna go over the list of players in case you are curious. We have Panda Warrior, Chaplain, Pyro, Arctic Shieldbreaker, Kurdim, Otum, me, Diplomat, Flying Scotsman, Brutal Karma, Rebel King, Danko, Evil Bookie, Prince of Macedon, Diversant, Western Ruler X, Fixer, Darofiz, Lord of War, Hemp Knight 79, and Blade Master. So, yeah, this should be fairly interesting. But again, I'm the Allens against the Sassanids, putting it in slow-mo so we can see how it is. I've got my Alani General with Brace, then I have an Elite Agathyrsi Warrior Bronze 1 on each flank, a Bronze 1 Elite Agathyrsi Warrior in the center as well. Then on each flank I have a Germanic bow, and up front I have 3 Germanic bows. I don't really think you need Germanic archers against Sassanids, because they just have that the annoying Armenian slingers, which will do very well against your skirmishers. Now, on the left flank, you can see that I have 3 Noble Lani Cav, 2 Bronze 1, 1 Bronze 2. On the right flank, I have also 3 Noble Lani Cav, but they are all Bronze 2. Now in the center, I have 5 Bronze 1 Noble Germanic Swordsmen. So that is it for my build. Now time to go over the Sassanid one of Danko. So he has Spachbed Bronze 2 General with Fast Charge, and it seems like he split his army into 2 components, 1 Armenian Slinger on each flank. Then we have 3 Gaian Spar Bronze 1 on his right, with 3 Dalemite Warriors as well, and then on his left flank, 3 Dalemite Warriors with 3 Bronze 1 Pushtigman Cataphract. So his build here is very, very expensive. These 3 Gaian Spar are just insanely... They just cost so much money to bring, and as you can see here, I have an advantage of like, wow, a lot of men, 2,000 almost versus 1,400. So definitely the one thing I have to be wary of this game is that he's got the Gaian Spar. And the Gaian Spar, they are very expensive, but they are insane as well if used properly. Like, they're going to absolutely destroy any of my cavalry units, even the Noble Alani cavalry. So I have to keep that in mind. And my Noble Germanic Swordsmen this game are not going to be as useful as I would want them to be. I mean, yeah, sure, it's quite a strong center, that's for sure, but now I'm gonna have to move my Noble Germanics on my flanks so I can actually deal with his annoying cavalry forces. But yeah, time to hit play and watch the battle unfold. Because I am, at this point, I'm not feeling great about my chances, because I'm really afraid of his shock cav. It could just keep hammer anviling my units. Like, he could just charge into my Agathyrsi, pull out, charge in, pull out, charge in, pull out. And I only have 3 Elite Agathyrsi this game. That's like my shock infantry, and he has 6 of these Dalemite Warriors. Granted, they're not as good, well, by far not as good as the the elite Agathyrsi, but still, I'm gonna have to be really careful regarding those guys. I mean, Noble Germanic Swordsman, gonna do alright against them in shield wall. Then as you can see here, I'm doing a very nice thing, which is moving up my 100 cost Germanic bows in loose formation and targeting his cataphracts. And this is very good for me, because even if I don't kill his cataphracts, I can still do a lot of damage to his units. And here I guess he's targeting my cavalry or my elite Agathyrsi warriors. I noticed that, so I pull out. Here I'm targeting his Armenian slingers, which is not a good choice. I'm not going to be able to get too many kills here. I should be targeting his guy Navspar or something. But soon enough you shall see me being like, okay, moving up the Armenian slingers like that, then I'm going to just charge you. So yeah, I'm still doing a fair amount of work here. He actually activates Steady, which is a nice move because it increases his missile block chance here. But I still get some nice shots off into his cataphracts. Here I don't know why I'm targeting Armenian slingers. It's just a huge blunder by me. I should be targeting the guy in Navspar. Here I suppose I'm just going to set up my units. Am I gonna get shield wall off in time? Oh, looks like I do activate shield wall, but it just doesn't activate. So that's a huge blunder by me, the fact that I could not activate shield wall there. So here he's actually going to get through into my cavalry and get, looks like another charge bonus onto my Nobolani cavalry. That is huge, even though he's already in the infantry unit. Here he's going to get a good weird charge off onto my Nobolani cavalry. This is really bad for me. As you can see, I'm losing a lot of my Nobolani cavalry. That was a really awful move by me there. So, but very well done with this guy in Avspars though. Here I'm gonna get in with my elite Agathyrsi warriors though, and I'm stopping him with the Nobolani cavalry. As for my right flank, as you can see, I've activated shield wall, but the thing is, these guys are like 2 ranks deep shield wall, so not the best. Still though, as you can see, very nicely done here with my 100 cost Germanic bows. He doesn't even want to charge them. He could very well charge them right now though, because I don't have any cavalry to stop him from doing that. He definitely should have done that. But here I'm gonna get rid of these Dalamite warriors. Elite Agathyrsi can clearly destroy them. This guy in Avspar here, this unit has gotten a significant amount of kills, yes, but is it cost effective? That is the question. I'm gonna get Noble Germanic Swordsman here. Yes, not in shield wall, but still. This unit here though, that's the problem. I'm gonna get a good charge off into these Dalamites, I believe though, sending in my elite Agathyrsi as well. Problem is, at this point, that I'm getting my elite Agathyrsi shot by the Armenian slinger, so maybe I should have charged it. But I guess at this point I'm like, okay, let's just get the charges off onto his Dalamites. They're attacked in the rear right now, but I don't get a proper charge off. Okay, my general is gonna get rid of these Armenian slingers, but not before my Agathyrsis took a lot of damage. And here you can, wow, just see how his cataphracts just broke through with the charge. Broke through my Noble Germanics easily here. My Noble Germanic swordsmen were clearly out of position there. But I'm hoping at this point, okay, it's not looking great for me, but I still have more men, and I'm kind of like mopping up all these cataphracts on this side. I've still got cavalry, I can keep charging in and out here, and this Noble Germanic swordsman is going to be a hero for me, I think. Because it's still holding, it actually got 4 kills against the enemy cataphracts. This is insane. Germanic bows, as you can see here, no damage was done by them, but none was expected. Of course, my Agathyrsi here clearly mopping up the Dalamites. Nothing too crazy about that. Here I'm going to try and get a charge off into the guy in Avspar, I believe. Yeah, Danko did not get a charge into my Nobolani cav here, so this guy in Avspar is going to die. I'm engaging the Spachwed general here, which is going to be really difficult for the Sassanids to pull out now, because it's now entangled with not only my Nobolani cav, but also these Noble Germanic swordsmen, even elite Agathyrsi right now. And I'm going to start destroying all these Dalamites on my left flank. I'm going to get a nice charge off with my Nobolanis into his Dalamites here. As you can see, should just drop down that Dalamite instantly. I've broken through these Dalamites too. I've got more cavalry left on the field, so if I can get cav charges off into his Dalamites here, and I keep my right flank. Wow, this Noble Germanic swordsman is still somehow alive here. And it's doing so much work, actually. It's killed off a lot of these cataphracts. Still in shield wall. 20 kills against cataphracts. Insane. Here he's charging my Germanic bows, which I'm actually very happy about. Because if he gets a charge bonus on my archers, it's going to be very difficult for him to get one on my Nobolani cav. So I take advantage of that. Okay, I lost the cavalry unit here, but he's got his Spachwed here. Maybe he should decide to pull him out. I think he does at some point. but he's kind of like pulling out to the side and not to the rear. Okay, now he's gonna pull out to the rear. I've got my Alani General here, but he doesn't want to engage his Pakbet though, so he's gonna get a really good charge off into the rear of these elite Agathyrses though. It's not something I want to happen, and now he's gonna get his General in here, but I get a rear charge off into these Daylamites, so that engagement's gonna go very well for me. I'm gonna pull out my General soon though. It's an amazing shock cav unit, the Alani General, by the way. Now I'm going to rear charge this other Daylamite warrior, so I've routed this flank for sure. And now the General is dead for the Sassanids in combat against my elite Agathyrses. Yes, elite Agathyrses can do very well against cavalry in prolonged melee. But yeah, now I'm going to pull out my General here. I don't want to lose my General in a weird engagement. I'm going to keep this Nobilani cav here though, even if the Nobilani cav is going to get destroyed by this Pushtigban Cataphract. At this point, it's just looking very, very good for me. So he's actually pulling out his Pushtigban Cataphract, but this is his last unit, and right now I caught it. Actually, no, he still has a couple units here. This Noble Germanic Swordsman is still hanging on against the Pushtigban and the Armenian Slingers here. But I guess what happened here is that maybe he did not get the best charge on the Noble Germanic Swordsman or something, and because of that, that unit held on for very long. And it's because the Shock Cav, as you can see here, not a lot of melee attack and melee damage, and I suppose that could be it. But if he got the charge off, definitely my Noble Germanic Swordsman would have died completely. So maybe something was disrupted regarding his charge bonus. And that could have been a huge move, because had he broke through that Noble Germanic Swordsman, he may have been able to actually win this game. But at this point, it is currently 1-0 for me in this best of 3. We shall see how the next game is going to go. As you can see here, 1 kill on my Germanic bows. I did not expect too much out of them. Noble Germanics overall just did terribly, but that one hero Noble Germanic though. And my elite Agathyrses did fine. Nobilani Cav did alright. The Alani General, savior of the day. As you can see here, Guy Navspar and Pushtigban Kata's doing a lot of work, but his Daylamites are just not that great when compared to elite Agathyrses. But yeah, see you in game number 2. This is game number 2 between Danko and me. This is the game in which I picked my faction first, so I decided to pick the Jutes, and he picked, interestingly enough, the Langobards to counter the Jutes. Honestly, I don't understand how that's going to work, and but yeah, let's just go over the builds. So I've got my regular Jutes build. Sometimes I use other variants, but overall it is something like this. So I have 2 Nordic hurlers on each flank, 3 Nordic bows in the center. I have my Nordic warlord this time on my left flank with brace. I have 3 Royal Huscarls on each flank, 3 Nordic horse lords on each flank as well. As you can see, very, very symmetrical approach by me this game. I do like the hurlers on the flanks. I believe I saw this first used by Blade Master, which I really liked doing, and now I'm trying to use it myself, because if you slow down the enemy cavalry, it's going to make a massive difference in the engagements, even if you slow down, for instance, his infantry as well. So these Lingers, even though it may not look like it, they have a lot of utility for their low cost. So I kind of like bringing them for that reason. But anyway, time to go over the build of Danko, who is, again, the Langobards. He's got a redoubtable Chieftain General. Probably the best choice is the Langobards, because he is very, very tanky. You can see he's very heavy. He's got insane armor and insane health. So can't really kill this guy too easily, even with cavalry. But yeah. He has 3 Noble Germanic Horsemen, bronze 1 on each flank, it seems. And on each flank looks like horse yours. 2 on the left, 1 on the right. A bunch of Germanic bows in the center in loose formation, looks like 4 of them. And honestly, I don't agree with this, the fact that he brought Germanic bows against Jutes. I feel like bringing Germanic archers would have been a better choice, because I don't really have Germanic archers as the Jutes, and on top of that, Germanic archers have so much range that he can just probably start activating Flaming Shot to target my Nordic Horse Lords, or better yet, just target my Royal Huscarls. Because, as you can see here, Royal Huscarls do not have insane health, armor, or missile block chance. In fact, their missile block chance is really, really low. They've got okayish armor and okayish health, but that is about it. They're going to fall kind of quickly to bows, to Germanic archers, that is, if targeted properly. But yeah, those are the builds. So at this point, I'm feeling quite confident, honestly. Because I know that if I can get my Nordic Horse Lords in on the flanks, on any flank actually, and then come in with Royal Huscarls with rapid advance, I know that I'm going to do very well. And I'm just going to push up my Nordic Hurlers first, see if I can get some shots off onto his noble Germanic horsemen, make them slower. And the effect is actually for 30 seconds, so it's very, very massive actually. So keep that in mind. He's doing a good move here, which is he's moving Godensmen on his right flank, but the thing is he's going to have a Horsehewer, 2 Godensmen against 3 Royal Huscarls, so that's not a good engagement for him. And Nordic Horse Lords against Noble Germanic Horsemen, still prefer Nordic Horse Lords because they have, not only do they have javelins, but they also had Headhunt, so I really like Nordic Horse Lords over Noble Germanic Horsemen for sure. Here you can see my hurlers starting to do their work. They didn't get their shots off though, as you can see. But yeah, I'm using loose formation in the center with Nordic bows, not with hurlers though. And that is on purpose because the hurlers, I don't care if they get shot, but if they are in tight formation, it's far easier for them to actually shoot. So here, as you can see, I got shots off with my hurlers. His Noble Germanic Horsemen are going to be very, very slow here. And just look at them, minus 25% charge speed, minus 25% speed. And he's going to go in here, but unfortunately I kind of mess up my own charge here. This is really bad by me, but look at how close my Royal Huscarls are already with the rapid advance. So I've got my infantry engagements done very well here. I'm fighting his horses. I'm pulling out my hurlers. I didn't even lose my hurlers actually, so this is very good. I've got my Huscarls in basically first everywhere, so his horses are going to start dying very soon. And I noticed that the engagement on my left flank is going so well that I decide, okay, let's move my right flank all the way over there, start protecting my skirmishers. And here I decide, okay, maybe I should charge into his infantry with my horse lords. I see that he's moving them back and pushing up his bows, so I think I just, soon enough, yeah, I'm going to pull out my Nordic horse lords from this engagement. Though he looks like he's going in with his Noble Germanic Horsemen, so I'm like, okay, let's charge in here. Let's charge in here, and I've got the Royal Huscarls in, again activating rapid advance. Thing is though, I'm going to move this unit in here too. My Nordic Horse Lord here is actually wavering right now, and I don't know if... Okay, I activated Headhunt, so that's really good for me. Here, I'm getting my Royal Huscarls in. This one is kind of in a weird formation though, so it's not going to get there in time. But again, my infantry is going to get in much quicker than his, because I've got the amazing, what's it called? Rapid advance on my Huscarls. As you can see, engagement on the left flank went really well for me. Most of my Huscarls are still in very good shape. You can see the Godensmen dying very quickly here. This Royal Huscarl took a lot of damage to the Godensmen, but still. And here, I don't actually stop his charge properly. And this is a problem for me. Like, this Nordic Horse Lord was kind of over here, but it got stuck for some reason. So it didn't actually go where I wanted it to go. This means that my Royal Huscarl over here is going to take significant damage. But at this point, it's not really going to matter. But that was something that annoyed me. And I activate Headhunt here too, which is great because now I can route that Noble Germanic Horseman. My right flank may not be looking great, but I've got Huscarls into the fray, and that's kind of all I need. Even if it's just a lot of these Godensmen, I've still got cavalry. I've got an extra Huscarl over here. My left flank, as you can see, I broke through very, very cost effectively here. I'm going to get more Royal Huscarls into the fray here. Godensman here is going to die. He's going to kind of pull through with the Godensman here to get to my Nordic bows, which I don't care because that means he's going to lose a lot of them. This means I get better charges off. You can see now I'm going to get the Royal Huscarls in here. I'm going to get a charge off with this Nordic Horse Lord into the Godensman here, so that's good for me. I'm going to route that unit very soon here. I'm going to kill this Noble Germanic Horseman with the Nordic Horse Lords here. At this point, I think he's targeting my cavalry with his Nordic bows, so soon enough, I'm going to pull my cavalry out of here and just use it as a reserve. I'm not sure how soon though. Okay, pretty late, so I guess I'm going to get them shot, but it doesn't matter. Here I'm shooting into his Horsehewers, which is a very good target actually. They're going to fall kind of quickly, even frontally, against Nordic Hurlers. This is a good engagement for me. And on my right flank, as you can see here, my Royal Huscarls just doing significant work. His Noble Germanic Horsemen dying to my Nordic Horse Lords. Here I'm probably going to end up charging that unit, though I guess not, because it's not necessary. The Royal Huscarls are enough. Here I'm fighting with my Huskarls against Horsehewers and Goddansmen, so this is a very cost-effective engagement for me here. I'm gonna activate Frenzy soon. Now I'm targeting these units with my Nordic bows. Probably not good to use Flaming Shot, especially as I'm gonna route my own unit here, so that's a mistake. But I've got extra Nordic Horse Lords. This unit's now got Bronze 1. Here, as you can see, looks like, yeah, I'm moving my cavalry around because I don't want to lose it to Nordic bows, keeping it for the late game in case it's necessary. And here is going to be a very good charge into these Horsehewers. It should just completely destroy them. As you can see here, they're down to like 51, and these guys just charging in here. Maybe not the best charge bonus, but it's going to be enough to rout this Horsehewer off the battlefield. I've still got a lot of men left on the field. I'm even moving my Nordic Warlord forward because I'm like, okay, let's go in there and see what we can do. He's targeting my Royal Huskarls, which is a very good move actually. I think he's even using heavy shot, but I'm not entirely sure. He doesn't even need to use heavy shot though, but standard shot is just okay. As you can see here, my Royal Huskarls trying to get into his general, but at this point it's just looks like he's just going to engage in the fray here, going into my Royal Huskarls, which is not going to be great for him. But I don't have a proper charge bonus because I attacked that Germanic bow with my Huskarl here. But it doesn't really matter at this point. He's just got his general mostly left, and these Goddansmen, one Goddansman as usual. Finally, it's dead though, and these guys are now going to celebrate. As you can see here, Nordics quite happy with their victory here, it seems. Redoubtable Chieftain off the field with a rear charge by this Nordic Horse Lord as well. So yeah, Jute's definitely a very strong faction. I'm not really sure how well they can be countered by Langobards, but definitely not by a Langobard build like this. I definitely think Germanic archers needed to be brought here instead of Germanic bows. I do get the point of the Germanic bows, but Germanic archers just, I don't know, like, I think he needed that against my Huskarls, but still it would have been a tough matchup for him, I think. As you can see here, my Huskarls getting a lot of kills overall. Even my post doing something. Nordic Hurlers doing a very good job despite the low amount of kills. They just did what they needed to do, slow down units, and yeah, they slowed down the cavalry. They did damage against infantry, so very nicely done by the hurlers over there. And overall my cavalry did okay-ish as well, better than his noble Germanic horsemen. For the most part I stopped his noble Germanic horsemen from going into my Royal Huskarls, which is pretty much what I need to do this game, and his Horsehewers were not able to do much. Goddansmen, some of them actually did a significant amount of damage, but still my Royal Huskarls, very strong infantry units. I'd say the best infantry unit in the game at the moment. But yeah, that is game and match, so hope you guys and girls enjoyed. If you want to see more, don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Share the video, and I shall see you next time.